Welcome and hello, guys. Hello and welcome, welcome and hello. It is Un Poco Moss, the show where we give you just a little bit more. Of course, it is me, it is I, Tabasco Rojas, former Montreal Expos relief pitcher. Hold the distinction of having the worst earned run average in the history of Major League Baseball at 1,091. So that's a sort of a badge of honor for me. They also call me Little Danny Cornbread DiCarlo, and you might ask, why do they call you cornbread? And I'll tell you, it's because I'm moist, I'm doughy, and I crumble under pressure. They've been known to call me the tugboat because I'm short in stature, pull more than my own weight, and I'm rarely far from my home port. Of course, they call me DJ Patchy Drizzle because I don't know how to get the party started, but I sure know how to get everybody home at a reasonable hour and make sure nobody's hooking up. They call me MC Al Dente because I'm half baked and can't remember the rest of the nicknames, guys. Stock Karen, Hurricane Lopez, the whole deal. They call me Hurricane Lopez because I look funny when I'm playing tennis because I'm fat and I'm always spinning around and my body shape is Grimace from McDonald's. What's up, RMC? Tugboat is still afloat, just barely. I sprung a leak, but I put a little fix-all on it, little fix-a-fat. Wish they had fix-a-fat. It's like fix-a-flat. They just pump some kind of adhesive into you. Cures your fat guy knees, your fat guy hips. Fix-a-fat. That's a great product. Just sell it in every like O'Reilly's and Kragen's. Do they have Kragen anymore? That used to be the auto parts store I went to when I was a kid. Probably got absorbed by AutoZone and then bought out by Walmart and then conglomerized by Blackstone and, you know, sliced up into some other financial instruments and derivatives by our friends at Goldman, sold back to retail in a nice package. Nice, beautiful package with a bow on it full of dog shit. Anyway, guys, welcome and hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. What an honor and a privilege to speak with you all today. I know you guys have tiny wings, but big ambitions, big hearts. We wear them on our sleeves. Yeah, so it's official, guys. SoFi down below 20. I honestly didn't think I'd see that. I knew it would pull back down below 30 again, when it ran up over 30, because that was just a hell of a run. Um, you know, as Rick James said, cocaine's a hell of a drug. Um, been working on some really weird, obscure impressions. It's just impressions nobody wants. Nobody even knows who these people are. But for me, it's like important that I can get that impression just right. Anyway, I'll be running some of those by you in the near future. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about, I think, the market mechanics of, let's see if I can share my screen here, in terms of what goes on with this type of, drastic retracement where everything is selling and everything's cascading. It brings a lot of fear, of course, because you see your portfolio, a lot of paper losses. You wonder, should I cut my losses and sell? Where is the bottom? Why does everybody hate these stocks? Like, how does a stock get attacked and sell off after multiple great earnings reports, like a SoFi, like an SMCI? Why the big, fallback today? The simple answer to those questions, and there really are no simple answers in life. Am I right? Am I right? But the simple answer to those questions, I just put things in like chubby, simple stock monkey, chubby math that I do. I try to keep things pretty simple, but what happens is these stocks, these assets that are heavily, sort of retail owned, aggressive retail owned, sort of the soul patch, long hair, Robin Hood margin crowd. Um, these assets are very vulnerable to volatility because retail, when they buy on margin, they don't get great terms, and they're on a tight leash. So when these assets fall apart, like, Bitcoin or Ethereum or Bitminer or whatever you're buying on margin, or even SoFi, even Hood, some of these other names that have, come back down to earth quite a bit, then you get margin called. And if you can't add more cash to your account, isn't just retail. This is also aggressive traders, hedge fund people, all kinds of different people. It's not just, us tiny wing pikers that are aggressive. There's a lot of actual smart money that's right there with us getting our asses handed to us. Thankfully, I don't do much on margin and debt, but I'm still, taking a lot of the losses. But you only lose if you sell. I know that sounds trite and stupid when you're watching your account get, pummeled in the ball sack by a very short bantamweight boxer that's just using your Apple bag for a speed bag, as it were, and your family jewels are getting pummeled like they were tossed into a dry cleaner spin cycle, cast asunder. Um, but anyway, I have no idea what I'm talking about. But so what happens is like these cascading margin calls, it's forced selling, and then selling begets more selling. And it's just a mechanical sell off. And it's not necessarily that SoFi should have gone from 25 to 19 after earnings. It's just that you have to clear out all that selling, all those margins, all those people who have to sell SoFi to add cash back in because they're getting margin called on, Bitminer or whatever the case may be. Um, or SMCI is another one. And this is why retail favorite stocks are particularly susceptible to downturns and volatility. And what happens is smart money, people with like retail doesn't keep cash. Like retail makes all the mistakes. They get over leveraged. They don't hedge downside risk. They don't keep dry powder for downturns. They don't do any of the smart things rich people do to preserve their wealth and, minimize their losses, preserve their capital. That's how you win. It's not only the gains, it's you have to take profits and you have to preserve your capital and you have to be smart. um I'm not necessarily those things much of the time, but do as I say, not as I do, because as I do is a do is a stupid big pile of turds, and I stepped in it. Oh, got something in my front pocket for you, to quote Leopold Butterscotch. Reach in there, see what it is. Um, SoFi, I'm absolutely not worried about that. I'm just trying to explain in my mind, like, why the price action is so drastic and so volatile, and why you get 42%, 43% retracement on a stock after it turns in, I would argue three extremely strong earnings reports. This last one, I think, really showed the leverage of the business. It showed that the cross selling, it showed all the things management has been telling us are going to happen are really starting to happen. And the actual strength of this business is really starting to flex. And, JP Morgan sold off a bunch of shares right on the pop at earnings. Stock Goat had a great video on that. Guys, I still want to get your votes for, yeah, clap my dog. I mean, I stepped in and bought a little bit in the high 20s, very small position for me. I'm tempted to add some here, but I'm also tempted not to and just go slam my Gekken balls in a drawer and punish myself for my stupidity for ever buying that piece of shit. I mean, I'm not losing much. It's like a mini position. It's like a micro phallus, like a micro wing. Take a look at your wing in a mirror, and that's the size of my Bitminer position. And then go swimming in a very cold lake and come back and look at your wing again. And that's the size of my Bitminer position now, that it went down like 20%. But, sometimes I just can't help myself. I'm like, but buying the dip is often stupid because it's not necessarily catching a falling knife in terms of price action, but quite often there's a good reason where assets are losing their value and people don't want them and people are dumping them. It's not that Ethereum is worth, it's like, I think people don't trust management. I think people um, are skeptical of these, crypto treasury companies. Like, why do you need a public company just to own a bunch of crypto? Like, why is that your raison d'etre? What's your deal? And how much of the cash are executives going to suck off the top? And what's going to be left over for the rest of us? So far, they're just really working this thing over around 20. But like I said, I wouldn't really worry about that. But the cascading margin stuff, it doesn't stop until all that selling is cleared out. Retail has a chance to get back on their feet and recover, kind of dust themselves off and see what's left. And what happens is that overly aggressive retail that got liquidated doesn't have any dry powder to come back in and buy the dip. So it's all smart money. It's all the patient, rational people that maybe keep, I don't know, whatever percentage, 20, 30% of their money in cash. A lot of people even keep 40% of their money in cash, cash and cash like, not necessarily, I'm not saying keep the money under your mattress, but something very liquid, like a money market fund or whatever. But those are, you can find, those types of funds still paying like 4%. Even SoFi, like SoFi savings with whatever, you get, really good percentage rate. So anyway, it doesn't help us now, but I'm just saying this is how the smart money behaves. Like smart money, they're not over leveraged. And most of all, they're just patient. Smart money doesn't say, oh, it went down 10%. I have to buy right now. Maybe over time, it'll be down 50, 60, 70%. They're going to bottom feed. I mean, I know when you're DCAing, you have to kind of take what they give you because you don't know where that bottom's going to be, but don't blow your whole load all at once like I did. SoFi, I mean, I'm still pretty happy. I made my major buy around 2108 or 2110 or whatever. I think that's a great price, and I think I'm going to do very well in the long run. But of course, now that it's gone down below 20, I'm like, I'm kicking myself because while I don't make the irrational moves, I definitely, hem and haw and hand wring and kick myself and, oh, the price action, these evil market makers, manipulators. They're not, we're manipulating ourselves because we do stupid things and we don't make smart decisions. And we basically overspend, you're over invested. And I like to be fully invested. I'm not going to lie, but I have levers I can pull. I have lines of credit. I have other assets that I can sell or borrow against if need be to try to buy these dips, which I'm at a point where I just cannot buy any more SoFi. Just I have to have some form of discipline. This isn't a smorgasbord. I mean, if it was a king's table buffet, I'd be back ordering a fifth cut of that select grade prime rib. Tastes like a mix between shoe leather and jerky. I miss buffets, guys. All the buffets closed during COVID. We don't even have Soup Plantation anymore. I used to love Soup Plantation when I was broke. Dude, they'd see me coming. I would go in there and I would get their to-go salad. You get this tray and you get this lid. But unbeknownst to the staff there, I would just fold that baby out and just use both sides as a plate and just not use it as a lid. And that's frowned upon, but there's no written regulations that say you can't. So I would just double up. I'd have two full plates, one on the lid, stack a salad about 8 feet high. I'd be rolling through that check stand with like 7-8 pounds of food. And for that lunch special is like $6.95. Pile up the breadsticks. Old Danny's winning. Who needs stocks when you got Soup Plantation, $6.95, and you get like 5 days worth of food? I was eating pasta salad for $1 a day. And again, that's probably why I have this grimace type body shape right now. I know this doesn't have a lot to do with stocks, guys. Google had really strong earnings, and it's not down much, but at a 3.9 trillion market cap right now, just my opinion, I would personally buy Microsoft over Google all day. I mean, Microsoft is going to win in AI. There's zero doubt about it. Now, Google's going to do extremely well also. But I like Microsoft being tied up with OpenAI. I like Azure growth. I like how their Copilot is going to be in every Windows and every PC. Everybody who uses, Hotmail. People really frown on you if you have a Hotmail anymore. Oh, Hotmail. I don't want to do business with this fat asshole. Got a Hotmail. Anyway, so cascading margin calls, tiny wings, ball sacks, leathery select grade steaks at buffets. What am I missing? What am I missing right now? Kevin Costner impression? Nah, I won't do it. I can't do Costner. Who can do Costner? That level of depth and nuance. Great actor. But yeah, would I wouldn't sell Google, but I would buy Microsoft over Google. That's just me. I love Microsoft. Microsoft is absurdly valued. 1 year target estimate on Google. This is just kind of aggregate off of but I'll just give you like just what the analysts are saying. I know not for nothing. It doesn't really mean anything. Who cares, right? But Google, so they have a 15% upside analyst. So it's 325 and they're looking for 375. Now you get, and again, I realize analysts can be misleading and all that stuff, but Microsoft is at 400 and they're looking for 600, 50% upside. And these are good analysts. Like Mark Murphy from JP Morgan, these guys are very solid. These aren't the sort of mostly the joke analysts that are trotted out when the C team when they're trying to crash SoFi at New Year's or something along those lines. But I think buy every Microsoft share you can and just don't look back. This just dipped under 400. Chart looks very, very strong. So many charts look exactly like this guy's. This round trip plateau or mesa, whatever you call that. Bubbling cauldron. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know anything, guys, if that's not totally obvious by now. Like, all your picks are down. You're a big fucking idiot. I'm like, yeah, preaching to the choir. I know that. Like, you have a tiny wang. Like, you don't know that for sure. Plus, a lot of it's buried under fat. So that still counts if you measure properly. You guys ever taken my seminar on how to measure a fat guy's wang? Type of equipment you'll need. You need a come along, a winch, one of those industrial tripods you use when a kid falls down a well. You got to send another brave teenager kid down after him. You guys watch that Matt's Off-Road Recovery YouTube channel? That's a pretty good one. Where idiots just drive their like rental car, just get like a Chevy Malibu, just drive it like 300 miles out into the middle of nowhere and get stuck in the mud. They didn't have any cell phone reception. They just die. And then this guy has to come out there in like his monster truck, Chevy vintage station wagon or whatever, pull him out. Wonder what you charge somebody to tow him out for like 100 miles in the middle of nowhere, side of a cliff. Maybe you shouldn't take your RV, off-roading on a double diamond trail. Know what I'm saying? I would probably buy Amazon here too, but Microsoft's my number one. As far as crypto, I would just stick with Bitcoin. I mean, I think Bitcoin has a lot of institutions are starting to basically advise their clients to dip a toe in the water with crypto and Bitcoin. It's all going to start with Bitcoin. That's the one, people know. It's the one people trust. It's on a huge dip. I think buying Bitcoin here at 66, it's not risk free because there's not much support on the chart. I mean, there's not much support anywhere. But again, where are buyers going to step in? Buyers are going to step in only once the margin cascade, the cascading margin calls stop. It finds a firm bottom. You find some liquidity again. Then buyers with cash are going to step back in. But we don't know where that's going to be. I mean, they do because they can see, your thoughts before you do with the fabulous payment for order flow and tiny wing tax they take. The old Friar Tuck, Tiny Wing, Little John, Little Johnson, as it were. Little Debbie. I used to be a big fan of Little Debbie snack cakes. My mom tried to not give me one because I was fat, but I would procure two somehow, like hide them in my pocket. I had so many fat kid moves; it was ridiculous. Always trying to procure a second cupcake, somehow trade it. Hey, how about I'll write your essay? Give me your cupcake. Fuck off, Danny. All right, all right. Counter offer. I like it. Where do you guys think the bottom is on Bitcoin? I really don't know. I'm no like big crypto guy, no crypto expert, thank goodness right now. But SMCI, I hope you guys bought that dip here. I mean, here's what I think. This is what I said last time. They want to crash different assets once they're de-risked. They don't want to hold through the risk, hold through the uncertainty. They want to wait till it's a sure thing, crash it, wash your tiny wing out, send you home crying, and then buy your stuff at the bottom, run it all the way up, go to a bunch of blow hookers, wham wham, buy another mansion in Connecticut, corner office on Park Avenue. You know what I mean? It's the old Wall Street two-step. Let's see who the hell this is. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Got a Texas Joker back. Got some marble issues at a job site. Looks like somebody broke a slab. Probably like $15,000 out of my ass. That's fun. Anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. Hey guys, I got 10 oddball stocks. It's so bright in here. This freaking giant screen computer I got, it's like blinding. Probably can turn down the brightness somehow, but I haven't figured out how to use it. I got 10 oddball stocks starting with Mastercraft boats. I gave you that one. A little I don't know, something like a week or two ago. But yeah, this is an interesting little play. Insider buying. It's a turnaround story. I love an underdog. I love a tiny wing. I love a turnaround story. Um, yeah, Nasdaq kind of trying to recover. Russell was holding up there at the beginning of the day a little better than anything else. I would definitely buy, you know, some type of small cap, index play or whatever. Small caps are still undervalued. And the whole market, this whole run up has been driven by a lot of these mega caps. I'm not saying the Magnificent Seven is overvalued. I mean, I think Nvidia, you could buy this dip. Again, I wouldn't buy Netflix. I just don't like that stock. As far as some of the other plays, I think Meta is still a good buy here. Like I said, I've just said this till I'm blue in the face. I think Microsoft is just absurdly undervalued right now for what they are. Um, Hold on a sec, guys. Sorry. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Just having 800 problems, 99 problems, and construction is every damn one of them. Never, ever, ever, no matter what you see on TV, try to flip a house, make some easy money. Watch the It's Always Sunny episode on house flipping. That's actually how it goes. You're going to end up making a taco bed for an immigrant family, end up burning their house down. It's the worst thing you can do. And then everybody breaks things and steals things, and nobody's accountable except the fat asshole writing the checks, losing money. Oh, I hate everything. What are you supposed to invest in? I invest in stocks, I get my balls cut off. Invest in real estate, I get my leg cut off. Invest in Pokemon cards, I get rolled by fucking Steve, the big sexy, the intellectual Fred Flintstone. You know what else I'm pissed off about is those fat guys in those tall and fat clothing books, plus size men or oversize or Omar's Tent Factory or whatever it is. Most of those guys aren't even fat. Don't come at me with some just giant buffed African American gentleman who's clearly a model and try to sell me clothes. I need to see how those things hide man boobs. I need to see how those things fit a, Grimace or Hershey Kiss body shape. Don't come at me with some guy who's like 5 or 6 pounds overweight and just has a chubby face and a beard, like a 34-inch waist. Try to sell me fat guy clothing from that guy. Selling me a bill of goods. You motherfuckers. Oh yeah. No, it's awesome, low country. I think Neo's gonna creep on back up to 8 and 10. Don't go crazy, guys. Don't look for 20, don't look for 40. You have to average down. That's how life works. People are like, oh, I bought Neo at 30. I need it to go back to 50. No, you don't. Build the position slowly. Don't chase. Don't buy something 5 years before it's going to be profitable. Just because you think your testes will descend by then, your voice will change. You'll be able to ask Frida Felcher to the big dance. All right. Absolutely no idea what the point of this show was. I just didn't want to actually do all my mail. I got a ton of bullshit to do. I got so much big dog work right now. Got the big dog breathing down my neck. Oh, but he's a fair man. He's a fair man. Beats me unmerciful. Oh. Um, What's going on? What do you think Amazon earnings look like? I don't know. I haven't taken a look at Amazon to be honest with you. I own Amazon. I feel very good about it. I think their margins are going to be thin again. A lot of growth. I think they're going to show growth on cloud. Obviously, it's just going to be going through the roof. What's I think people are missing with Amazon is how much AI is going to impact their margins in the physical business and how much infrastructure Amazon has built out all around the world. A lot of people think they've overbuilt too much capex. I completely disagree because what they're going to have is a lot of infrastructure and very, very few people running it. It's all going to be run by robots and computers and AI. And these packages are going to be pulled and shipped and sorted and unloaded all by AI robots. And this is going to happen sooner than you think. And Amazon's margins are going to improve dramatically through the deployment of aggressive deployment of AI throughout their whole, ecosystem. And so I think Amazon's leverage is going to just bludgeon everyone else in the space absolutely into submission. I don't know how well even companies like Home Depot, Target, you know, Costco is going to be okay, but I don't know how anyone else on the retail side, on the e-commerce side, is really going to compete with Amazon. They're not the 800-pound gorilla, like they're the Godzilla. 800-pound gorilla is their little nephew. But no, I haven't taken a close look at Amazon in terms of being able to discuss their earnings rag trade. Sorry about that, but I definitely will. I just haven't had time, guys. This isn't my job. I mean, I do invest for people for a living, I guess you could say that, but it's not primarily just like picking stocks or anything like that. It's sort of more big picture. Yeah, I'm gonna do a Neo video actually, George Gurney, but Neo, their product mix is just phenomenal. You know, they own a real huge slice of the market segment you want, which is that upper end of the market. The ES8 is a very high margin vehicle, and there is overwhelming demand for it because of the value proposition, the quality of the vehicles they make. I mean, I could not be more bullish Neo from a sub $5 price point. And also, the major overhang on the stock was, of course, they burned so much cash, they're going to need to do more dilution. You know, these ADR shareholders were a bunch of tiny wang chumps going to be left sitting in the corner at the high school dance, doing a dry jerk with our tears at the end of the night. Because Trish Hopkins wouldn't waltz with us. I, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Yeah, Carl, 550 is a very nice average on Neo. My average is probably even, I hate to say it, but I think it might even be higher than that. I don't know. It's not over 6, but it's not under 5. Michael Anthony is here. I can be your hero, baby. I will take your breath away. I wish I had a big white flowing shirt. It was just a slight Latin guy. Good ab definition. Those Jesus abs. I'm never going to have abs, guys. I want to do one pull up. I could do like one pull up once in my life when I was in like really good shape, but I was still like 275 pounds. It's a pretty big pull up. Pull ups are hard for fat people. Like we can get a bench press, we can get a big squat. I guess it's just kind of muscle mechanics because, you know, those muscles, the sort of leverage, that run rate on your fat ass, it's more highly leveraged, trying to work your latissimus dorsi than your gluteus tuteus. Oh God, how does this show make any sense? Yeah, and that's the thing, Brian, with the Y, you gorgeous bastard. Why'd you change your avatar? Um, Trust me, I'm not gay. I'm just very, very gay friendly, and I like to party, which is pretty much the same thing. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Know what I mean? What's going on? Double wide. Neo 90, yeah, strong volume. SoFi has a ton of volume too. Let's take a look at Neo, guys. I don't want to look at Bitminer. Makes me depressed. Makes my wing suck up into my gun like a frightened turtle. And you know they're stepping on this thing, guys. What's the short interest on Neo right now? What's the short interest? What's the frequency, Kenneth? That's what this guy said right before he beat the shit out of Dan Rather for no reason. I think. Hershey's posts upbeat earnings. What am I caring about Hershey's? Why is that on the Neo feed? What's going on, Vortex? Yeah, so they're shorting. They're saying the short is only about 8%, so that's come down quite significantly. Cost to borrow average 6%. So shares are scarce and hard to find. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to analyze these numbers a little bit on the fly. So yeah, right here, you saw a massive drop in the short interest in mid-December. I think probably in anticipation of some type of a ball sack drop event on New Year's Eve. And then as those testicles descended into a wedge, you had days to cover increase. I don't know why. It's kind of odd because usually days to cover increase, price goes up, short goes up, something along this. Short interest to go down, while days to cover up, shares on loan are up. Um, Maybe because was there a bunch of dilution here or something? What the hell, guys? I barely know where I am. It's like I just fell off the turnip truck. Fell into a big pile of manure. You know what I mean? And I think you do. Walmart pretty easy and free online ordering. Those, yeah, Walmart is good, Tortuga. I'm not saying that. I know they're, battling as hard as they can. But honestly, what's the scope of their e-commerce operation in comparison to Amazon? And do they have that infrastructure built out all over the world? I don't really think they do. And I have bought some things from Walmart, and they have better prices, honestly, on all the retail stuff than Amazon. Amazon's overpriced and all that crap. So you're going to buy your laundry detergent and ship it overnight or like same day. Stuff weighs like 10 pounds, big bottle of Tide. That's not free to have that little, dude or lady run over there and drop that thing on your porch because you couldn't wait till the next day to do your whites. My dirty undies, dude. The whites. Walter. Slow down to 15 mph. I grab the Uzi, roll out. Uzi. I love me some Walter Sobchak. Just jumps out of the car, just bruises his knee. Can't walk properly. Ends up shooting up the dude's car. The Uzi goes free. Kind of like a cascading margin call. What's going on, George Gurney? Yes, you are a legend, sir. Don't you forget it. Don't forget my boring stock list. Yeah, Carl, believe it or not, I own a lot of different stocks. I only tend to talk about the ones that I don't know why I started talking about these particular stocks. I just got a bee in my bonnet. As people are rightly pointing out, they're down. I mean, I guess it depends because I was really more encouraging people to buy SoFi at 5 than at 30, but I was hyping it at 30. I couldn't help myself. I got a tiny wang and a excited bladder. Speaking of my excited bladder and weak green tea, I have to end this show pretty soon. Let's see what you chumps have to say. Great Carl Seamark, the great Oleg Alexandrov, excuse me. Yeah, Neo to 10, take some profits. I probably would too, because I just have too many shares. I got overextended and I DCA'd pretty hard down around 4 and 5. So I think I even bought some shares in the 3s. So I got to probably take a little money off the table because the Chinese EV industry is such a competitive landscape. And like I said, I don't trust CATL. I certainly don't trust the Chinese state to keep a level, fair playing field. I think they do to a large extent because they want their industry to flourish, and they know in the in their heart of hearts, in their heart of their pseudo communist kleptocracy, whatever you want to call it. I mean, China is not communist. It's centrally run, I guess you could say. But there's a lot of free market kind of things going on. But anyway, I don't know. I don't want to get into a whole discussion of Chinese economy and geopolitics and all that bullshit. So let me see. I can't believe they stepped on MCI today. I can believe it. Oh, you're the other Brian with the Y. There's so many of you guys. I was hoping you were that handsome, bald young guy. But it turns out you might just be old and flabby like me. Couple old flabby guys. Talking on the internet. It's the spice of life, I tell you. You guys know how bad lunch meat is for you? It's basically the same as eating hot dogs. That turkey breast in the supermarket, that ain't turkey breast. It's like 70% of a saline solution, and the other 30% is testicles, turkey testes. That's what they make that out of, turkey pastrami. I love that Mitch Hedberg bit. Rest in peace, Mitch. I love Mitch Hedberg so much. But anyway, had a good bit about turkey, like turkey pastrami, turkey ham. Like, come on, turkey, just be yourself. It's funny guy. Yeah, SoFi will do incredibly well in the long run, but let's face it, it is disappointing, disheartening to see a stock fall this hard after such a great performance. But at the end of the day, fundamentals matter, results matter, and they suppressed the stock for a long time, years. while the company was doing well. But it was pre-profit. There was a lot of narratives, the bears could concoct in their cauldron of lies to suppress and step on our tiny wings with their big shack size Ronald McDonald floppy flappy shoe, like the guy who put out the fire in Seinfeld when Costanza was eating the eclair out of the garbage. Eric the clown, I believe. Oh, the other white meat, Brian with a Y. You're probably white too. I think most Brians with a Y are white. Actually, I take that back. My friend, when I was a kid, African American, Brian with a Y. So I don't know. You can't generalize, can't stereotype. It's racist and stupid. But I am stupid. However, I'm not racist. So let's try to keep it straight. Damn it, that's why I bought SoFi at 32. No. Yeah, I will admit I bought some shares in the high 20s. I just got overexcited. I mean, not a lot of shares, a few shares. Said I made my big buy here, 21, little over 21. Very happy with that. Not upset. I thought, okay, the stock's down almost 40% here off the top. And that's the retracement I usually look for. Maximum 40% when something is very, very strong. Now, if something is a little bit weaker, you could see 60% quite easily. Absolutely, Nicholas Youngworth. You got to laugh so you don't cry. You got to laugh at yourself. You can't take yourself too seriously. It's like people who come on, they're like, oh, you just don't talk about the fact that, you have losers. You have winners, you have losers. And right now, most of my portfolio has been big fat losers. And that's okay, guys. Stocks go up and down. I can't time the market. I can't control the market. I'll just hunker down and sell covered calls like I always do. I mean, sometimes I try to trade, try to sell the top. I did that with SoFi a couple times. Like one time I sold a bunch of shares at like 12 and bought them back at 8 something. A lot of shares very quickly. It was like 31 days. So it was, another one of these earnings hits. I sold the pop, big, huge pop. I knew it was going to sell off violently because it always does. I saw KBW over there, the Judas of the analyst world, sharpening their knives to stick it in fat Jesus's back. Or is it Jesus? Oh, man. I don't want to get into like an ICE discussion. So much about this world is just sort of doesn't make sense to me. Mid-March, probably see SoFi 26. You could see SoFi a lot higher than that at any given point. I mean, it was, SoFi was just touched 30. When was that? Oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong chart. Thought I was advanced. I'm a beginner. SoFi just touched 30. Where was it? In January. I mean, it touched 30 right here, 29. And then it was basically making a market between 27.50 and, 26 essentially. A lot of happy campers buying there, but this falling off a cliff down below 20 was, I have to admit, just caught me off guard. It was quite unexpected. I thought the results were just too good for this to happen. And a lot of times you could say with some of these companies, oh, it's a one-off, but you can't say that with SoFi. These are trends. These are unmistakable now after this many years where this company's going. The deposit growth, the membership growth, the profit growth, the margin expansion, the shift in the mix of products to high margin fee-based products, the insane growth in financial services. SoFi is winning. It's just the data proves it. The trends prove it. There is zero doubt. This credit quality, charge-offs, hand-wringing, and now the valuation concerns that were so prevalent in the 30s Really, where do you have this? All those analysts who said, SoFi's overvalued, like Goldman. Where's Goldman shifting to a buy today? Shouldn't Goldman be a buy? They underwrote this offering. They lowered their price target to 24. Now there's 20+% upside just to get to their Fugazi hack, nut shot, shitty deal. Ugh. DJ, CEO, tiny wang, ugly mistress, drug problem, kids dropped out of college, that type of an executive board. You know what I mean? I have no idea what I'm talking about. Yeah, it'll take a while to come back up. You're absolutely right. The market just looks very shaky. Obviously, the jobs numbers, that came out were really bad. Almost no jobs added, way more lost than expected. Nobody's hiring. And this is only going to be exacerbated by these AI, these robots, these optimist greeters taking the jobs of all the restroom attendants. He issues the tissues and passes out the towels and listens to the roar of the other people's bowels. Is that a blood? I think that's a Bloodhound Gang song. Neo just pushing up quite nicely, almost to 5. This is what I mean with the fugaze of manipulating the starting line so you control the finish line. Okay, it moved up 10% and it's still under $5. Yippee! I mean, I'll take it. I like it a lot better than 440. But I'm not going to throw a ticker tape parade. I said tipper. Perhaps a reference to former Second Lady Tipper Gore. Unemployment is up. Real wages are down. A dynamic personality, that Al Gore. Hey, Al Gore. Rush Limbaugh. I used to call Al Gore. Say it all as one word. Rush. Megadildos, friends. Talent on loan from God. I do a pretty good Rush impression, actually. There's absolutely zero value in your comedic repertoire to a Rush Limbaugh impression. Anyway, especially now he died, so. But sometimes impressions of dead people are funny, I guess. I don't know. All right, guys, I'm going to end this show because even my rambling has stopped. It's like, the album's over. It's just kind of spinning around, hitting the needle. But yeah, Neo, the lone bright spot, Mastercraft. I just have a tiny position like your tiny wang. SoFi getting clobbered, Bitminer getting shat upon, SMCI getting kicked in the balls very, very hard, but has started to stand back up and recover their voice, their falsetto coming back. Microsoft, just down, down, down below 400. Google coming back after getting drubbed. It was up a little bit after hours on a very solid ER, but I mean, I would argue the same things that apply to Microsoft getting hit should have applied to Google getting hit really hard. The excessive capex trying to catch up with this wacky AI demand. But yeah, SMCX obviously down 15%. Not music to my eyes, if you know what I mean. Prop, I think, is a great buy here. IOVA getting crushed. I would be tempted to buy this dip, but I wouldn't do it. I would wait for the money raise on IOVA. IREN getting hammered again. I know some of you guys were in that stock. CoreWeave getting just totally shit on. A lot of the Canadian fintech mafia stocks absolutely falling apart. But it's a dangerous world out there, guys. Don't listen to anybody. Don't trust anybody. Look at the numbers. Look at the trends. Look at the executive team. If the executive team has no track record of doing what they do, like running a, crypto treasury company, maybe they just have fancy glasses. Maybe they just have the ear of Kitty Woods. I don't know. Yeah, a little bit, Billy Jack. I'm gonna try to do an actual Neo video. What's going on, Billy Jack? Send my regards to the Butt Crack boys. Pags has already been to 11 this morning, and it looks like it's going back up. The greatest fundamentals pays 12-cent dividend with upgrade this week to 14. Not super familiar with Pags, Michael Anthony. I'm familiar with Gags, Mike Gallegos, half of the greatest double play team, Glenn Stubby Hubbard. Pag Seguro? Yeah, I don't even know what this is, to be honest with you. Larger drop than the general market. What's this chart looking like? Chart looks nice. Chart looks real nice. Who upgraded them, though? UBS. Okay, UBS is sometimes full of shit, sometimes not. Was this another one of those language lab stocks? Okay, so looking at 12, but see who's got it up, who's got it down. Okay, UBS. That's another new analyst. Turdman sucks. Tito Labarda. It's like a low grade mafioso. James Friedman looks bald. Very, very bald. Not nearly as handsome as our very own Not a Lurker. So anyway, guys, I don't know anything about this stock. Bank of America likes it. Whatever that's worth. John Coffey from the Green Mile, he's into it. Anyway, yeah, I'd have to take a look. I really don't know anything about this stock, but curious about it now that you mentioned it. It's got a fun name to say. Pa seguro. Seguro y falso. No, they're not falsos. These man boobs are real. Never seen a finer pair of man boobs. Old cornbread. Corn-fed, cornbread man boobs, I'll tell you. It's a product. They declare a 12-cent dividend. That's exciting stuff. Undervalued double-digit growth and yield among rising global uncertainty. IWA Research loves the stock. Elibana Shkibal, Paga Seguro's discipline in a market that overlooks it. Interesting. It sounds pretty interesting. I mean, I'm not discounting it or anything. I just don't really know anything about it. I don't even know what the hell these guys do. What do they do? Doesn't even have the little blurb here on whatever this is. Yahoo. I don't know what the hell these guys do. I don't know what their website is. I don't know anything. Anyway, guys, I really have to go to the bathroom, and I'm very, very thirsty, and I'm out of wheat green tea. So I'd like to thank everybody for listening to this brainless ramble through the dark recesses of a troubled mind, the nether regions of your dark side, your dark star, your brown swordfish, your tiny wang. Yeah, I mean, I made a jab at him in the sense he has no fucking clue what he's doing. And everybody was trying to rush you into this thing at a $60 valuation, and you got cut off at the nuts. And I don't like it. I don't like rushing into things you have no idea what you're fucking talking about or what you're doing. You didn't know what Ethereum's going to go up to, 50,000 and Bitcoin's going to go to 1 million and we're all going to have, fancy thick rim glasses. Well, that's not how the real world works, Tom Lee. Not everybody's a fucking superhero. Why don't you let Tommy Lee Jones run the company? I mean, why not? He's equally qualified, a great actor. Fun strat? What's fun strat? A thing where you buy black suits and take my money? Men in Black 7, starring Tom Lee. When I flash this, you'll have no memory of the massive losses I've foisted upon you. Oh, well. Seguro. Bye. No, I have no idea. I don't even know what this thing is. So I'll be curious just to know what they actually do. Because it's something digital, obviously. Capital return strategy. I guess I go to their website or something. Plug it into AI. I don't know. Thank you, dude ass face. I appreciate it. You inspire me every day. I will be talking to the children of the corn, Fireman Pete. if they don't knife me with their little tiny knives. Michael Anthony, you got too many tips. You're going to derail me. I can't get any work done. Tigers under 8 with upgrade by City to 1750, low PE, and look at earnings was a blowout. I think you were selling this one before. I'd rather buy Pasaguro than Up FinTech Holding. Up. Shoving this one right up my wazoo. It's kind of done that same dipsy do, double dip, double test, double dare, Mark Summers, physical challenge, getting slimed. Bull case theory at Insider Monkey. Very exciting. Very exciting. Yeah, I mean, the chart looks pretty good to bounce off of this level. Really hasn't gone below. I mean, chart looks pretty good. It's a nice, this is a nice kind of SoFi-like pre-move chart, but I don't know what their story is, you know. These guys got almost no history here. Let's see. What happened to them? The hell's going on with these earnings? I don't know. Just rambling at this point, guys. Anyway, I'm gonna end this show because it's been totally pointless. And yeah. So what would I buy today? I don't know, because I don't know if this market's going to reverse and look like it was going to come back up and pop, but I don't think there's much downside on SoFi from 20 or SMCI from 30, given the results they turned in. But that's not what this is about. This is about forced selling. This is about being liquidated. This is about what happens when you have too much leverage, not enough savings, and you're just basically completely out of position for a downturn. This is not how you want to be positioned with this uncertainty, this labor market, this geopolitical stuff, domestic political stuff, tariff stuff, endless list of wars and geopolitical tensions, endless list of stuff that could go wrong. So push the market down further. Tech, software, all the digital advertising stuff, fintech's been getting crushed. Crypto obviously been getting crushed. There's not a lot of places to hide. I mean, you can be in utilities, you could be in healthcare, you can be in different places, but some of that's getting crushed too. I mean, utilities, no, but anyway, guys, yeah, I'll come back. We'll do the try to give you my whole stupid portfolio so you can see that list. And then what else? What else did you guys want? I can't really remember. It's totally pointless. No tracks full. Absolutely pointless. Yes, eco-friendly blue sky. Talked a bit about Neo, and I'm going to do a Neo video. So we'll talk about Neo, especially at earnings or maybe before. Stockman Mark, I was definitely born a rambling man, a chubby rambling man. Should have kept my money in ET. Yeah, Energy Transfer, a very safe play. Pays a nice dividend. Could go to Extreme Fear. I think it's got to be pretty much there in terms of the aggressive returner. The aggressive returner is just it caught with their pants down. They're leveraged. They never take profits. They expect the market's just going to keep going up forever, and that's not real life, guys. This is real life. This isn't David After Dentist. Peace. I'm out.